First of all, I get tired of people speaking about healing as if it's a destination and not a process. Um, the idea that we can come to somebody healed I think it's a ridiculous thought. I think it's a ridiculous thought. Unfortunately, trauma is not like a broken bone that with a little bit of surgery and a little bit of time will never go back to what it was, but it'll be just functional and whatever, like it'll be fine, right? I think
Mhm.
our hearts are a little bit more complex than that. Our minds, our memories are a little bit more complex than that. And so when I think about healing and what it means to pursue healing before we re enter new relationships, I think about repair, right? Identifying that which has been broken and then taking the steps necessary to not even make it what it was, but restore it to something beautiful, right?
Mhm.
It doesn't it doesn't have to be what it was before. It's not about going back to before. You cannot undo a broken bone, just like you can't undo a broken heart. Uh but there are tools that you can use to regain strength, regain whatever virtues have been lost, whatever was broken, whatever was lost. There are things that can be done to bring those things to a newness of life and make them strong enough that you can use them as they were intended to be used.
Mhm.
Um, Oftentimes, when things become broken as a result of trauma, we turn to our vices, we turn to these crutches, and it takes a long time for us to learn how to walk again. It takes a long time for us to learn how to love again. It takes a long time for us to learn how to trust and believe and think again without the brokenness.
Mhm.
Um, but as we do the work of healing, and we'll get into that, we may find that over time, if we stay committed to the work of healing, that we can become stronger than we were before. Never necessarily what it was before everything was broken, but definitely good enough to get the job done moving forward.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I love that, and I'm glad you talked about that because I think a lot of times on social media, people say the same thing over and over again, and all of a sudden, it's like it just catch wind, and now everybody starts to regurgitate what everyone else is saying, and so it's like we have to unlearn some things. We have to take the switch off autopilot and actually think. And so I'm glad you brought that up because there's so much that's like you say, we're good enough, but to think that like you're finished, you might as well be with the Lord then, right? I mean, you know what I'm saying? You you know what I'm saying? I think that's important. So I love that.
Or
And
to
I
think
want
that
to talk.
something that's been broken before isn't still sensitive,
Mm,
right? You still have to be careful with me. Even after it's been 6 months or 6 years, I still have to treat that part of me that was once broken with care, with a different type of care than something that's never been broken. No,
mm,
it's never what it was. It's never going to be perfect until we get a new body, a new
mm.
mind in heaven with the Father.
Amen.
You're right.
Mm. I love that. Love that. So why do you think so many people rush into love without healing first?
I think there are a few reasons for that. I think there are two sides, though. I think
Mm,
one side rushes to love because if somebody is able to love me, that means I'm not as broken as I actually am. That
mm,
affirms that I'm okay, right? I don't have to fix it if I'm lovable like this. That must mean nothing's wrong with me if somebody is able to love me here, right? And then the other side of that coin is I'm running to this love to fix me. I know I'm broken and I can't fix me on my own. It's a codependency of can't I can't heal without you. I can't heal apart from this experience. But yeah, I think there's a spectrum of reasons in between, but I think most things kind of fall into one space or another of if I'm able to be loved in this space, then I might not be as broken as you think I am, or I can't get healed if I'm not attached to somebody. I have lots of friends who are married and who are in relationships. I usually see the latter more than the former. I definitely see in my closest relationships a this person brings me peace, this person regulates my mind, this person, my livelihood is wrapped into this person. And so I can't begin to sort through my own trauma if I don't have this person handling these parts of me. I can't deal with myself by myself. I need this person. And unfortunately, because of the culture that says be his peace, be her peace, we have so many different ideologies floating around that kind of encourage codependency. People think that it's okay to operate like that. And I do not claim to be an expert. And I also recognize that my own attachment styles and my own traumas make it easier for me to be on the outside of that mindset. But that's just what I see. That's just what I observe.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, that's good. Yeah, because the whole be his peace thing, somebody was talking about that to me the other day or something, and I said, you can't be someone's peace. Like that's Jesus' part. They can be peaceful, but they can't, like, for a person to be your peace. And again, I think it's the words that we say, we just kind of keep regurgitating over and over and over again. And people can say semantics and stuff like that, but if you take the time to really think, like, to try to put the pressure of being somebody's peace, no human can carry that for another person as broken and as flawed as we are. Sure, we got our own issues, so trying to be somebody's peace, that's a heavy load to carry.
That we were
Oh,
never built to carry. Or
never.
even if we were, when sin entered the world, it kind of destroyed that. And like God told us that was going to happen. Like he did not change our design, but sin did abuse that design. Yeah, that we have ways that we are uniquely gifted as men and women in this world, but and ways that are meant to help serve one another. However, only God satisfies, and that was the whole point. We were looking for satisfaction and peace and knowledge and all of that outside of God and with some fruit. And God was like, "No, baby, that's me. That was always supposed to be me. I was always supposed to be enough for you."
Amen to that. I love it. And you said something, if you can expound on this on a little bit, because that was a bar. You said that you can love, or what'd you say? You're still lovable, but you're broken. What was
Oh,
the
still
former?
lovable in my brokenness. So
Yes.
yeah, like